Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you all so much for tuning back in to another episode of We the People. I'm Derek Butler, and today I'm sitting down with an amazing guy, Dr. Wes Bellamy. He's currently the Vice Mayor of Charlottesville, Virginia. I first learned of Wes Bellamy during the Charlottesville Confederate statue debacle that was going on. He was on CNN all the time, speaking his mind around the issues that were taking place in his town, and being very vocal about the history and the feelings that seeing those statues bring up as a black individual in that city. I caught him while he was here in Chicago for the Obama summit that took place last fall, and just wanted to pick his brain a little bit about race, about the situation that took place in Charlottesville, and how millennials can continue to be their authentic selves and speak truth to power. I hope that you enjoyed this episode and share it with all of your friends. Make sure that you follow us on social media and visit our website at BeHopefulPeople.com. Let's listen in.
So my name is Dr. Wes Bellamy. I'm the Vice Mayor of Charlottesville, Virginia. Also serve as the president of our 100 Black Men of Central Virginia, as well as the chair of the Charlottesville Alliance for Black Male Achievement. My passion is helping people in any shape, form, or fashion in which we can. I'm also very focused on creating equity, and there's a difference between equity and equality. Equality is giving everyone the same thing. Equity is giving everyone what they need in order to be successful. So I'm a huge proponent for having equity throughout city budgets and public spaces, parks, in the educational system and educational achievement, and so forth. So for me, in addition to being a city councilman in Charlottesville, Virginia, I am the youngest person ever elected, as well as only the seventh African American to be elected to our city council, and I'm a huge proponent for advocating for our people. It's been absolutely phenomenal when you see literally 200 of the world's brightest leaders all convening in one place, and just kind of the intellectual capital that you have in one building, in addition to being able to be graced by the presence of President Obama and First Lady Michelle, still my president, still my First Lady, and just being able to be around so many people who are so passionate about changing the world and making the world a better place has been a phenomenal feeling. Just the shared knowledge and the details from everyone in regards to some of the things they're doing, how we can create best practices and also share information has also been very inspiring. And it's good to see a lot of millennials here. I think it's also important for us to show that a lot of us do care and we want to make the world a better place. I would say there's two moments. One, when I was in the 8th grade, my English teacher gave me a book entitled Uncle Tom's Cabin, and she told me that she thought that I was going to be a world leader one day, and all world leaders need to read this book. And I was in the 7th grade at the time, so it was a little bit too much for me, so she brought me the Cliff Notes also so I could understand it. But I remember, I always think about that time, and I also think back to the year 2013 when I first ran for city council. Before I ran, and one of my boxers in my boxing club, Hype Helping Young People Evolve, we went to a city council meeting, and my boxer asked me, Coach West, why isn't there anyone who looks like us up there on the city council? And those two things, I think, really define who I am in terms of not only just accepting the calling, but also answering the call and answering the task, but understanding that it's much bigger than me, because there's always a generation behind, and also there's always people from all different kinds of walks of life who are looking up to you and looking for you to make the best possible decision, and all you can do is do your best, but equity is the key. When you look at the fact that specifically in my locality, Charlottesville, Virginia, where we just don't have a lot of African American leaders or just people of color in leadership positions, it's important for us to kind of be willing and open to serving in those roles and those capacities, not thinking that you know everything, but also just being open to serve, because this is all servant leadership. So making the shift from education to a more political realm, and I'm still in education, I'm a dean at an alternative school now, but looking at kind of the shift and the transition between the two, I think, again, it's important for the ideas and the impact in which one has the ability to make not be limited to just a school. So in this position, I'm able to go to several different schools and speak to different kids and talk about policy changes that I've seen directly that need to be changed and implemented within our local communities. And because I have the experience of being in the schools and also dealing with and interacting with different people within our communities, I can write policy that will specifically have direct impact on the underserved and marginalized. Well, I think it's important for you, as you just alluded to be your authentic self at all times. The only person who you have to be accountable for is yourself, and live your truth. So we are going to make mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. It's been well documented that I tweeted a bunch of crazy stuff before. Like, I've never been the perfect person. I've never been the perfect politician or elected official, and I don't want to be. You don't become a better person by always being perfect. And my faith tells me that there was only one perfect person to ever walk the earth, and that person isn't here on the earth anymore. So with that being said, just be willing and open to grow and learn, but never allow your past to define who you are. Never allow people to define you by things that you've done while you were growing and learning. The same way in which they were growing and learning, you're allowed to make mistakes also, but learn from your mistakes and just continue to move forward. And I think lastly, I would say our voice is one that's needed right now more than ever, because we're not the leaders of tomorrow. We're the leaders of today. We are the ones that the ancestors prayed for. We are the ones that the abolitionists thought would always come. It's us. So if we really want to be able to dismantle not only white supremacy, but be able to create equity in all spaces, for us to be able to truly come together and deliver the mighty blow to all of the hatred that's in the world, we're going to have to speak up and speak out. There's no one stopping us but ourselves. And I don't believe in being stopped. And if it's a wall or if it's a glass window, we're going to run through the wall and the glass window to create equity and do what we need to do to leave this place better than we found it. Well, the beautiful people, man. When I'm in Chicago, I always hit up a couple places. I always hit up Uncle Remus. Always go to Harold's. Got a chance to hit the city last night, enjoy some nightlife. So I love Chicago. This is like my 4th time being here in the last 2 years. So again, man, I love the city of Chicago. I don't like the cold weather, but you know, I can deal with it for a little bit. But I mean, the people here are so nice. I mean, just a lot of beautiful people, beautiful, kind spirits, man. Just people who are really nice. I get a chance to go over to Urban Prep. I always try to hit the Inglewood campus whenever I come in town and just talk to the youngins over there. But I mean, again, I just love the city of Chicago and love to see that the city is not what the media sometimes like to portray. This is one of the most beautiful, authentic, and loving cities in the world, not just in the country. So I mean, again, it's always a pleasure and a treat to come here.